People, what's going on,
Okay.
guys? What are the good news for the Liberian people?
Well, as it relates to the meetings in Paris, I think we've already announced that we are working very hard to get Liberia membership into the Organisation Internationale Francophonie. It's an organization with almost 100 members across the world. It started originally as an organization for Francophone countries, but it has expanded. And most recently, Ghana became a full-fledged member. So Anglophone countries are becoming members because of alignments, because of geopolitical engagements that require different blocks to emerge and form allyship around different issues. And so Liberia, as we try to reposition the country under President Boyka's leadership and his vision for bringing Liberia back to her prominence, we're pursuing such avenues, and we hope to be admitted next year, November, in Cambodia, to the Organization for Francophonie.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. We just want to ask you one question. I know you gotta go. What benefit Liberia stands to gain to join this organization? Liberia is a part of so many different organizations. One more organization, what would do for
Vision Francophonie, as just indicated, is a number of countries that come together under a different. They've offered us. We're not even members yet, and they'll be training on Security Council nuances for phone countries. Already, that's a benefit without even becoming a member. Just the fact that we've engaged and demonstrated interest that already it's been offered to us, and we'll be doing that this year. We're getting free training from them this year. This is important. Liberia is not Liberia of the last few years, the last few decades. Liberia must become Liberia of tomorrow. We must be the 22nd century Liberia that will be fit for purpose for our children who are yet unborn. And so that's the Liberia we're trying to shape under President Boyka's leadership. We have a president who knows who Liberia has been and understands what Liberia needs to be. He has the benefit of age, experience, and wisdom that enables him to see far beyond what we can see. And so, under his leadership, we've engaged on economic diplomacy. By the way, as I say to the Americans, which is something they always crack jokes about. We started economic diplomacy before they started commercial diplomacy this year, and that tells you we are visionary. We have visionary leadership. And so engaging with other countries, Francophonie organization includes Qatar, UAE, it includes Austria, it includes Canada. So engaging with those countries on that different platform and forming allyship with them and aligning with them on different issues provides the opportunity to engage deeper bilaterally and strengthen our relationships bilaterally. So we have to be the Liberia of tomorrow, not the Liberia of yesterday. Even yesterday, not good enough. Tomorrow is best.
Thank you.
I
Fatima?
have a question.
No, then go to Fatima, they'll come down to see you. Fatima?
So of course, you guys already know I'm fond of her. So I just want to say, Madam Foreign Minister, you worked so hard to get us the non-permanent seat.
Look at the
I saw
stressing.
bags under your eyes for days, like you were not sleeping. I even saw you drop some pounds trying to ensure that Liberia is on that seat. And today I heard another news that on that seat, huh? You got to explain that part because I don't want to miss it. Or because when I heard it, I was jumping in my seat while the driver was driving. So please tell us on a non-permanent seat, the sanction. I'm not talking to you talking. Please, madam, please explain.
So there's something that many people don't understand. The issue of foreign relations is not just about protocol and etiquette. It's about relationships, and it's about engaging on issues of mutual interest. And the Security Council is a platform that provides Liberia an opportunity to engage across the world because the world is a world of interest, a world of interest and agendas. And so you align based on mutual interests. The visit to Serbia and the engagement in on sports diplomacy is not because Liberia is the country that is the most appealing for them for sports, but because Liberia has a voice. Liberia is at a table that everybody's interested in what Liberia will be saying at that table. So when people say they don't understand the benefit of Security Council, already before we even started the seat, you can see the benefits. We are being sought after to lead on discussions and to be engaged on discussions that have global implications. And so today we just learned of the approval of the U.S. government of our request for reciprocity, which, by the way, was initiated in 2024. In 2024, we offered the United States of America 3 years visa, and we asked them for reciprocity. And we've been engaging. And I did a press conference when I came back from the U.S. after I met Marco Rubio to say people need to understand these aren't transactions. These are processes in a journey towards deepening relationship with the United States. And so this has been a process we started since last year. And even during the UN General Assembly, we engaged on that discussion. And when I was able to provide the U.S. The support they requested for me to be part of their panel to discuss migration, and I brought the African perspective, that deepened our relationship because I brought a deeper dimension to the conversation on migration and asylum seeking and so forth. And so what we see happening now is a result of all of these engagements dating back to President Boyka's transitional period when he was president-elect. The first thing he did was to go to the United States. He went and engaged the State Department. So it's been a process, and we just are the implementers of his vision. He's the chief architect of our foreign policy. And so what I've been doing over the past year and 10 months is just moving forward with what he started when he was president-elect and taking it forward and deepening and deepening. And we see today it's resulted in the U.S. agreeing for the first time since 1980. For the first time since 1980, the U.S. government has agreed to give Liberia multi-year visas, restoring us to pre-war status. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. And it takes a leader like President Boyka, who has been visionary and been steadfast. There were many steps we wanted to take, and he trusted us to take those steps because he believed it would take us towards his vision. And that's where we are where we are today. A leader with vision, and a leader who trusts his team to carry for that vision. And it's teamwork. It's not me. It's all of us as a team. And under his leadership, we have so many people who work. The ambassador works, the assistant minister for American Affairs, the deputy ministers. It's all a team effort, and then other ministries and agencies as well. The engagements across the administration. So for me, it's just another as a step in a journey. We're not done. We have to continue to lift Liberia to the place where the children yet unborn will have the Liberia they deserve.
Thank you, Madam Minister. I know you're in a hurry, but you have just have one question. Patrick, ask your question, and we'll go to Cisco and then Honorable Anonuga.
Yeah, so Madam Minister, it's very good that you had said that in 2024, Liberia began the process of issuing 3-year visa. I mean, that information is very important, and that it is as per a request from the Liberian government to the U.S. government for reciprocity. Because I saw some posts on social media saying, well, this thing, the U.S. government, it's their policy, they decided to do it. So this information is very important, and I'm going to cut this particular part of your comment so that that message goes out there for the naysayers and those who want to spew misinformation. I want to come back to this whole sanction thing that Fatima asked. From sanction victims to now, sanction deciders. We are the ones now deciding whether it's with Yemen, whether it's with the DRC or with South Sudan. Tell us about that.
Before I go to that, I want to go back to the issue of the visa reciprocity because it's very important. And I want to also thank the legislature. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we happen to have 2 committees in the Senate and in the House that are very supportive and engaging on our work. And I need to give them credit for that. And the legislature actually engaged, the Senate engaged me on this first to ask, how do you plan to address this? And we told them the work we're trying to do on this, and they asked, but did you consider, using this other approach and so forth? I consulted the Senate, and then we consulted the cabinet. We discussed the options. So that's why I say it's a whole of government. All of us get the win. I just happen to be the one to drive it, but it's been consultative. And I must give credit to the legislature because I do remember the table we sat at when they were giving their suggestions as to how many years we should offer. And should we offer years in the first place and so forth. And I went back to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, consulted, and then at a high level with some of the leadership, and then went to the cabinet and had a discussion before we made that offer to the US of the 3 years. And implemented it. We've been implementing it. Those with US passports know we've been implementing it since last year. In September, I think, when we issued the first visas, 3-year visas for the U.S. Passports. And so this now is in turn their reciprocity, but it has not been without steps being taken as well. We've been working on some elements of concerns of the U.S. the president appointed a task force that he chairs on these issues. He announced that task force earlier that has many ministers, justice is there, security of advisor, national security agency, police, were many on that task force that's been addressing the issues raised by the United States. So I just wanted to put that on the table, that this is a whole of government effort, including the legislature. And I wanted to be thankful to the two committee chairs who've been supportive as well. As we look at the issue of sanctions, and I like the point. I said this the other day at the UND. Liberia has come from being a problem to be solved and an issue and an agenda item on the Security Council to being a solution. And this is huge for us as a country. And I'm so proud to be part of an administration that's doing this. And I want to state here categorically, as I said tonight to the President Macron's advisor on Africa. I said to him, we're the oldest republic on the continent of Africa, one of only 4 countries that was signatory to the UN Charter, and the only country that has never, ever had a full term on the UN Security Council. It's unfathomable. The 3 other countries have had 2 and 3 terms on the UN Security Council over the last 80 years. We've never had one. When we sat there in 1961, it was a result of a split vote because after 6 weeks and 13 rounds, nobody could get the 2/3 majority. And so it was a compromise for us to just share a year. This is our first time going to the Security Council for a full term. And it's important for us to realize this is a moment in history for us as a country. And it's a legacy for President Boyka. And so as we go to the Security Council, we've been nominated. We've been nominated for many reasons. Some of those reasons I will not share publicly, but for many reasons, we're nominated to chair the Sanctions Committee on South Sudan and the Sanctions Committee on Sudan, and to co-chair the Sanctions Committee on Yemen and DRC. We've been nominated. It hasn't been decided. And of course, we're engaging. And as I said in my post now on Facebook, you cannot separate what's happening now from the UN Security Council seat. I know the discussions that I've had with the United States and the discussion we're having now with France. It's UN Security Council at the heart of it. And so we also look to these P5 countries to support our nomination and to endorse us and to vote for us to have those committees. And not only that, I'm being very ambitious. I'm asking them to give us the pen on one of the key issues of the Security Council, being very bold about it, asking for us to be the pen holders for one of the key issues of the Security Council. Why not? We're Liberia, we're the oldest republic. It's about time.
Thank you. Madam Famule.
Yes, I have a quick question, but before I get to the question, I do want to say that Sarah's being very humble here because diplomacy, she says, is not just about I'm paraphrasing. She said something about it not just being about protocol, but it's about relationships. Well, it's also about having a personality. It's also about being likable. And when your representative is someone who's personable, who knows how to interact, knows how to engage, knows how to look people in the eye and meet them with some level of charisma and charm. Sarah, you have a bit of a glow, a light, an infectious personality. And I witnessed that in New York. It doesn't matter who she interacts with. She greets them with such warmth and such confidence at the same time. That is not something that people can just learn. It's something you have or you don't have it. And so some of her ability to do the things that she does, to be able to negotiate as she does, has to do with the way she conducts herself. And I just want to point that out, that it's not only about working hard, which she does, but she also has skills, people skills, and she understands the world and understands how to communicate with people from different walks of life. And I wanted to give you your kudos for that. I witnessed it myself. And I have to ask you a difficult question because the viewers keep asking us to ask. What can you give us any information about the third party deportation thing? Is that something you're able to talk about? The people who are watching keep messaging, please y'all ask her the question because it's like a hot topic. But what can you tell us about that, Madam Minister?
I would say one of the important things to note here is that this Liberia was not one of the countries that was asked early on in relation to these decisions the US was making. It's because of the deepening of the relationship that we're now being asked to partner. So it's not the other way around. It's not because of they ask that things are happening. It's because things have been happening, the relationship has been deepening, and that now we're at this place where America sees us as a partner that they can step up and ask. They were asking other countries before, and by the way, other countries have offered. You should know that as well. Other countries have offered to partner with the U.S. And so the ask now is a discussion that we're having, and that's the most I can say. It's a discussion that we're having. But please note that President Boyka is very, 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 very consultative, and every step of the way it's been consultations, it's been discussions, and anything that comes as a final result of those consultations and decisions is because it's been well thought out in the best interest of the Liberian people. But we have agreed to partner with the US on managing migration issues and on managing asylum issues. And by the way, we're now being sought after to be speakers since the UN General Assembly panel I did with the US. We're being asked now to speak on migration issues globally and how migration affects Africa and so forth. So, like I said, it's an ecosystem. And the Security Council seat is the sort of the gravity around that ecosystem. And allow me to leave it there.
Honorable Nanuga, ask the minister. I know she has to go. Well,
thank you so much for having me.
It's quite
Thank you so much for having me.
Look, that one question before you run away, madam. We know you got to run. Just one question. I think Jay gave you a question quickly. You got it wrong?
I will have to remember. Go ahead. Half a second answer.
Tell me, Madam Minister, with all this progress being made, where are we to be in 2028?
Well, I would say the vision for President Boyka is about repositioning Liberia globally. I believe he's making significant strides towards that. And I would say, I will couch it within the context of the Sustainable Development Goals. And we're looking at 2030. And we're looking at the Sustainable Development Goals. We're looking at all the goals across development, right? I would say that for the president's vision, that Liberia, and in the context of the arrest agenda for inclusive development, our role there is to open up doors to ensure that Liberia has the relationships that it needs so that the other ministries can carry forward and walk people through those doors. We open the door, invite people in the ministries, take forward those relationships along the lines of the sectors that bring mutual interest for both parties. So I believe by 2030, Liberia would be fully repositioned as a leader and also fully on track towards many sustainable goal targets that our different ministries and agencies are carrying forward with their sectoral work.
Madam Minister, thank you so much for